What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So right now in Congress, or at least earlier today, they had a hearing and they were talking about President Biden's budget. And they brought up a question about Social Security. So I'm going to play Mitt Romney here. He's going to be talking about Social Security and cuts to Social Security. And this is a very interesting exchange. So we're going to watch this video. And I have a lot to say about this because he's talking about that he doesn't know any senators, he doesn't know any politicians, active politicians that want to make any cuts to Social Security benefits. So let's go ahead and watch the video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime I post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And also, you guys can follow me on Twitter. I do have a Twitter account. It is at the TEC Show Live, and I do post the video there as well. So if you're not getting notifications for whatever reason, and you've done the things that I've asked you to do when it comes to getting notified, follow me on Twitter, because on Twitter, I'll be posting these videos on a regular basis. And I'm also going to get a little bit more active on Twitter. And so I'm going to start posting things on Twitter as well. So let's go ahead and play this hearing here. And this is Mitt Romney. He's going to be talking to the director of OMB, and they're going to be talking about Social Security and cuts to Social Security. And so let me play the clip and you guys will see. It's about 6 minutes long, so it's a little lengthy, and I'll try not to stop it, but there might be a couple of points where I need to stop just to kind of clarify some things. Here we go.
I'm not aware of anyone in this category, but are you aware of anyone of the elected officials we have in the federal government, at the Congress, or anywhere else that have proposed cutting currently proposed cutting benefits for Social Security of any kind?
Senator, I have heard of proposals.
No. You've heard of proposals from a current senator, currently or congressman, currently proposing to cut benefits to Social Security?
Yes. Have they changed their position? Maybe.
No.
Yes. Members who are current members.
I said, has anyone in the last several months or the last year, has anyone, Republican or Democrat, proposed Social Security benefits?
So now you're asking if people change their position? Maybe. But there are records.
Are you aware of anyone?
There is a record.
Are you aware of anyone? Excuse me. Are you aware of anyone? Are you aware of anyone proposing cutting Social Security benefits?
Your first question, current members have well-known policies out there to cut Social Security and Medicare.
That's simply wrong. That is simply wrong, and it's not honest to say that to members of Congress. That is simply wrong. There is no one who's recommending cutting Social Security benefits, all right? Number one.
Okay, so in the comments, let me know down below if you've heard any politicians, current politicians that have talked about cutting Social Security. Part of cutting Social Security would be raising the full retirement age to 70. That's a part of cutting Social Security. This politician right here is in favor of raising the full retirement age to 70. They're talking right now, they're this nonpartisan group that's coming together. Part of their plan is to raise the full retirement age to 70. And by raising the full retirement age to 70, you're not going to be able to get Social Security as long, and that means that you're going to get less benefits. That is a cut. And so by him saying that he doesn't know any politician, active politician, that wants to make any cuts to Social Security benefits, that is a cut to Social Security benefits. And so it's just amazing to me that he would just come out and be like, no, there's no one just talking about cutting Social Security. That's, you're not being honest by saying that, when the reality is raising that full retirement age would be a cut. And you have other politicians that are out there right now that are talking about cutting Social Security, and they're on record saying that they want to cut Social Security. So this is, it's almost comical to listen to politicians talk like this, because they're out of touch. They're so out of touch, they don't even realize what they're saying, I guess. I don't know, but it's simple math. If, let's say, you live until you're 90 years old and you can receive Social Security at 67, well, you're going to have that period of time where you can receive Social Security. But if you move it up to 70, you're going to have a shorter period of time that you'll be able to receive Social Security. That's less money in your pocket. That's less benefits to you. So let's go ahead and continue.
Number two, Do you recognize that in the next 10 years or so, the trust fund on Social Security is going to run out, and under the law, benefits would be cut dramatically, like 25%? You're aware of that?
I'm aware.
Yeah. That's a problem, right?
Of course.
Well, why is it then that in the president's budget there's no effort to address that whatsoever?
And while we clearly disagree on this, there are some who have policies on websites. I'm happy to print them and send them to the committee. Whether they have changed their position is another thing. Who want to have policies.
I'm sorry, that was not the question. The question was.
So this president.
I'm sorry, you've got to answer the questions as opposed to change the topic. I asked the question: Why does the president's budget not lay out how you would protect Social Security?
This president believes the existential threat to Social Security are those who want to cut it. His budget says no.
There's nobody in this committee that wants to cut it. I know of no Republican or Democrat in the House or the Senate who is proposing cutting Social Security benefits, and it's dishonest to keep saying it. It's offensive and dishonest and not realistic. We have a problem in Social Security. We need to address it. You agree we have a problem in Social Security. Make it clear, 1,000%. No Republican is proposing cutting Social Security benefits. Now, the question is, why have you not proposed in your budget any action to protect Social Security?
Senator,
Okay, so I have to stop it. So he's talking about why didn't President Biden in his budget have some type of proposal to protect Social Security. Well, if we're listening to what Mitt Romney is actually saying, if he's actually saying that you have no Republicans that want to cut Social Security in the House or the Senate, you have no Democrats that want to cut Social Security in the House or the Senate, then what's the protection? What are we talking about when it comes to protection? If he's talking about reform, the reform for Social Security, that's not going to come through a budget. That's going to have to come through a separate bill. He knows this. And so if they want to reform Social Security, they're going to have to vote on a bill that reforms Social Security. You're not going to get that through a budget. It doesn't work that way. The budget is just for 2024. That's all it's for. And it says right on the screen there, it said that on the screen earlier, 2024, President's budget for 2024. If they want to reform Social Security, they're going to have to pass a bill in order to do that. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, they're going back and forth, and I think she's doing a fair job of trying to explain to him, hey, look, this is the situation. You do have politicians who want to make cuts to Social Security. And so at this point, all the president's doing is putting forward his budget, his wish list. It's still going to be up to Congress in order to figure out what's in a budget because they have to pass the budget. So not only would they have to pass Social Security reform, they have to pass a budget. So what the president has in his proposal really doesn't mean much because they're going to have to work it out themselves and pass a bill.
Look forward to seeing plans that are very clear.
The question is, why have you not proposed it? Why have you not made a proposal?
They will not cut Social Security. This president has put it in black and white. We look forward to seeing a plan that suggests that Social Security is off the table. This president believes the biggest threat to Social Security are those who want to cut it. His budget says no.
You know, I really do find that just offensive in the extreme, which is you can't name anyone who is proposing Social Security benefits. I have said, and I know my colleagues, no one is proposing cutting Social Security benefits for our Social Security recipients. No one is proposing that on our side. And you keep on saying that's the biggest threat. The biggest threat is in 10 years or so, the Social Security Trust Fund runs out of money and benefits get automatically cut by 25%. We don't want that to happen. I'm upset that the president hasn't included any effort to address that shortfall because I want to protect Social Security benefits for all of our recipients. Now, a question.
So, and like I said, if he wants to protect Social Security, if Mitt Romney wants to protect Social Security, it's going to come from Congress anyway. It's not going to come from the president. Even if he puts out a proposal, they don't agree with his proposal, Congress has to put their budget proposal together on their own and pass it. So what the president wants in his wish list has nothing to do with what they can actually pass through Congress. And that's the reality. So by him just going back and forth, this is grandstanding. He's going back and forth with this director here, when the reality is it's going to come from the Senate and the House anyway. They need to put together a budget. They need to pass a budget. And that's why right now we're waiting to see what's going to happen when it comes to the House. What type of budget is the speaker going to put together so they can talk about it, they can negotiate? Because at this point, the speaker has not put anything forward. And because the speaker hasn't put a budget forward, they can't move forward because it has to come from Congress.
What I have is, you do, fortunately, look at Medicare and suggest, hey, we need to take action to protect Medicare. I agree with that. I'm glad you do. You propose, however, the only solution is not cutting costs at all, but only raising taxes. Do you believe there's any prospect that Republicans are going to vote to raise taxes only as a way to save Medicare?
For those over 400,000, I hope so, that they would raise those taxes.
I said,
by
do you believe that Republicans in the House and in the Senate are going to vote to raise taxes and nothing else, just raise taxes to save Medicare?
Well, that is not the only proposal. If you look, the net investment income tax, which was always created to go into the Medicare Trust Fund and was not, we suggest moving that over as a part of keeping Medicare extended by at least 25 years. So that's one part of the proposal. That is not a raising of tax. That
do you
is
believe,
accounting
I know
for
my time is up, do you believe that it makes sense for a bipartisan effort to work together to find compromise positions, common ground, to actually save Social Security and protect Medicare?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so you saw that exchange go back and forth, and I did a little bit of research while we were watching that, and I just want to show you this really quickly. Now, in a Google search, is raising the full retirement age to 70, the rest is on here, but you can't see it because it's off the screen. Is that an actual cut to Social Security? Raising retirement age may be a 20% benefit cut. Lawmakers are considering raising the full retirement age again to age 70. This absolutely is a benefit cut. And this is said Kathleen Romig, Director of Social Security and Disability Policy at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. And that was on CNBC. And so raising the full retirement age is clearly a benefit cut, up to 20%. And that's according to this lady here that's talking about this, and she's a professional in that field. And so she knows when it comes to Social Security, the policies and the different things that they would do to Social Security, what would constitute a cut and what wouldn't constitute a cut. And so Mitt Romney, who is one of those politicians that wants to raise that full retirement age, guess what? That's a cut to benefits. And so if you're talking like that and you're thinking there's no politicians out there, there are no Republicans in the House or the Senate that want to make a cut to Social Security, guess what? Full retirement age, raising that's a cut to Social Security. So I want to know what you guys think about all this, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.